Hello guys, welcome to Monoglossia. I'm Iglika and we have a solo from me this time. I'm going to talk to you about the experience of attending an online conference, which is necessary in the moment and which I think may be getting more and more popular in the future as well. So the situation with me personally was I was quite nervous, but then again I am new to conferences in general, so it is understandable, nothing strange here. The way it happened was I found out about this conference less than a month before it was going to start, and there was a call for papers. Normally it should have ended a while back, but there was a new, very generous deadline very close to the actual date of the conference. And there was just something in the presentation of the conference that really dragged me to it. It was centered around language teaching and like foreign languages and teaching. So I decided to go for it. If I didn't have anything in mind, that wouldn't have worked. But I had this idea about language studies platform that I have been thinking about for a while, but I had never truly exposed in writing. So I thought that would be the right time to do it. The interesting thing was it was not a call for papers, but a call for abstracts at first. So I would have to write an abstract and then wait for it to be submitted and then go on to writing the actual paper. And I took a couple of days, a couple of nights more like, which was challenging after work, to write the abstract. It was a short abstract. I think probably the references were the most difficult part. And I submitted very close to the deadline. And a couple of days later, it was accepted. And I hope you guys get it, just how crazy it is to submit an abstract without having an actual paper to go with it. You probably heard this piece of advice. If you haven't, I'm telling you now. The thing to do normally is to write the abstract of a paper last, after you know exactly what you've written, where the paper has taken you. And I was left in the situation where, once again, I had just a few days and I had to write the whole paper. And once again, it took me a couple of nights after work. Again, the references were all right by now because I had already looked at that. I had to double and triple check the format was right, because the format is always very important when you're submitting an article that is going to get published. In this case, in case of conferences in general, the papers get published later in the official proceedings of the conference. So it ended up being a short article. It was supposed to be short, there was a word limit. I always struggle with these, but this time it was really alright. I submitted it. I received a confirmation in another couple of days that I was going to that I was definitely going to proceed to participate in the conference. And again, just a few days later, there was an actual checkup to make sure the platform was working. It was an online platform similar to Zoom. It felt very intuitive, nothing confusing there. The presenter had to be given the rights, the so-called host rights in Zoom, but they didn't have this name, but it doesn't matter. So having these rights, I will be able to upload the presentation, switch from one slide to the next, and there was a chat that I will be able to follow live. So I had a quick look at that a couple of days before the actual conference, and then there was the actual day of the conference. It was a 2-day conference and I was about to present the night of the first day, quite late, maybe 6 o'clock, and it ended up being even a little bit later because there's usually delays in this kind of schedules rather than things just going, you know, a bit like before the actual time that is advertised. I actually, before presenting, I really enjoyed taking part in the conference, because normally attending a conference would really mean taking a day off work and really feeling obliged to just absorb everything that's going on in the conference. But given this context, I was just working from home, doing translation work and following the conference, which felt quite relaxing. I was able to multitask. I didn't feel pressured to listen to absolutely everything that's going on. And then of course there was my presentation. It went just normal. There were no serious problems apart from an occasional me getting to the wrong slide. Actually, I really did that quite a lot, and getting some thick Bulgarian accent from time to time. Otherwise, everything went well. You know, the atmosphere is a bit different from just standing in front of an audience. Basically, you can see all the people that have switched on their cameras, which was not obligatory, but there were members of the audience who also had their cameras on. So I didn't feel like I was just standing somewhere, everyone staring at me. I was just talking the way any other member of the conference would be. And there was also an audience that I couldn't see, maybe 20, 30, 40 people that could write in the chat but had decided not to keep their cameras on. Yeah, so that's it about my actual presentation. I also used the networking features which were present as a chat within the platform. Actually, I guess I was one of the few people who used these, because most people were used to the conventional, I'm going to look at a poster, I'm going to kind of have a coffee and initiate a conversation. But for me, this format of networking actually works better. I prefer kind of expressing my thoughts in written form. And yeah, so that was it basically. My overall impression, I cannot tell you like online conferences are definitely better and more relaxing, and I can't tell you that there are any serious drawbacks to them. I would say really it's a personal preference. To me personally, something was vaguely missing from, you know, just the format of getting ready for it, taking a day off work, putting on, you know, like elegant clothes as opposed to the top of a suit and then like some short pants or like jogging pants underneath. Yeah, so I hope I have been useful with this presentation of how my first online conference went. If you have any thoughts, personal experiences or any questions, please feel free to comment. Also, feel free to like and subscribe if you want to. And see you next time, hopefully with Alex. Bye bye.